mountain, showed him all the kingdoms and whatever. And then they said Satan appeared and showed him, these are all the kingdoms of the earth and all of this. And all that was Jesus was reflecting. Satan was reflecting. We all have, every single person alive has a good side and a bad side. You have a conscience, which I should make a video about, because that's a whole separate subject. You have, well, some people don't have a conscience, but the good and the bad is fuels these religious people. Satan is hailed to be the bad side, and the good side is hailed to be Jesus and the Christian religion. And of course the good is also God, but there's nothing more. That little adage where you got an angel on one side and a little devil on the other side of your shoulder. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do this? And should I not do this? Well, that's really all that was happening as Jesus was staring at everything. He was trying to figure everything out. Like, well, where do we go from here? Because he had so many enemies. The Jewish people weren't about to give up anything that they had. The Christians, it was kind of new. They wanted their mark. The kings weren't about to give up anything that they had, and they sure as hell weren't going to be telling the truth, which is what Jesus did. Went around and told the truth. The Jews started calling him Scratch. Every time he showed up, he's like a scratch, an old scratch. It just keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back, which is a pretty good analogy for the truth. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's all it would have ever been had it been real. That's it. They don't want to tell the truth because they want to continue doing what they want to do. If people knew the truth, they wouldn't like it and they wouldn't let them do it. That's all it is. So whether he's Satan or Jesus or whatever you want to call him, Jesus was his attempt at actually doing things right and showing people the good side of human nature, to say, listen, enough of your bullshit. This is the truth. This is how things should be. And by using the truth, this is what I can do. This is what you can do. With the truth, we have clean water. With the truth, we have good, healthy food, which gives good eyesight, which gives good nutrition, good length of bone, good minds to think with. Your eyes work correctly, and not just the physical sight, but your mind and your eyes, the way your mind interprets what you see. That's all Jesus was trying to show everybody. That was it. He wasn't asking money from nobody. He wasn't asking for anything from anybody. He didn't want anything from anybody. Just be the best part of you as a human. That's it. Because he got tired of it. I mean, he's already lived with people, watching them for tens and thousands of years. Tens of thousands. Raping people, smacking people, murdering each other, stealing from each other. You know what? How much can one... I mean, how long could anybody sit and just deal with that for you? You know what? And could have been a private talk between him and God, where God showed up and said, listen, are you just going to sit there? You have ability. Let's do something. Let's get something done. Nobody will ever know that except the devil and God. And if you die, maybe, but probably not. You ain't gonna learn anything. Because when you die, you die. But as far as living in these times, skipping forward to now, I mean, because everyone, are just like an asshole. Opinions are the same. I mean, we all have one, right? I heard that. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. All right. Yeah, gross, but funny. Unfortunately, it also produces about the same thing, doesn't it? So, that's just my... Well, it's actually pretty much reality. Because look at all the greatness we have now. And all the happy, shiny people that are in great health with a beautiful, clean water and man living with nature planet we have. Yeah, we're just doing great as a species. So if he was alive today, what do you think he would do? Do you think he would just beam with light all around his skin and show up and, have some kind of torch or pitchfork or trident I've heard it called trident, and then, that glows and shoots lightning from it and curses people, or, what is going to have red skin and horns and a tail and, sneak around in pitch blackness and whisper in your ear to do evil shit. Yeah, that's what eternity is going to be for Satan. That's dumb. So, he's just going to go into politics, which is relatively brand new, and take over the world that way in some new world order where I run everything, and then remain covered until someone tries to kill him. There are just as many people looking for him. There are just as many people that are trying to find him to kill him if he was real. And kill him dead. They don't care if they go to jail. They don't care if someone kills him right after. As long as the devil is dead, he's dead. These people are not going to give up the kings and the rulers and the masters of our world. And there are a group of people that own everything. Everything you see when you walk outside or while you're outside, everything you look at, as long as you don't look up, they own it. Someone owns it. Every tree, every bush, every sidewalk, every road, every car, every building, every pair of curtains, every piece of land, someone owns it. You think they're just going to give it to him? They're going to make him prove himself over and over and over and over and over again? Or there's priests at the Vatican now that are trying to figure out mathematically what his birth date would be so they can, and geographically, mathematically, according to the stars or some stupid-ass ancient chart that was never accurate and sure as hell was never right, all the way back to the Egyptian times, who were much nicer people, by the way. To come up with where geographically he might be born at. And there are people spending and wasting lots of money and lots of time trying to figure this out, and have been for thousands of years, right after Jesus was murdered. So, and they haven't got anything right. There's people that think that the Pope is the Antichrist. Well, added up through the eyes of a Greek, it does equal 666 and would be, but would also destroy the Christian theory of it would be Satan's son. So, there's too much, and nobody has it right. I will flat out, nobody has it right, or we would know. Now, I believe that if they did actually believe that somebody was Satan, that they would try to institutionalize him immediately in like a Guantanamo Bay 15-story below ground in prison chained whatever, and never let him out, because they know that he would end up ruling stuff, and they would have to give up fucking who they want, living the way they want, and controlling everybody and murdering who they want. They would have to listen to him. So there's no way. The Jewish people believe that they have cantations, and it's a form of witchcraft that is specially trained to very specific types of people, very few, that have cantations and words and spells that can bind him, which of course is complete bullshit. The Christians are the same. Everybody, all of these religions have some kind of a way where they can bound him. Like in that movie The Exorcist, where the power of Christ compels you. Well, since he was Christ, then what's compelling him? It's stupid. It's a result, and it's what's fed into your heads. So nobody will be prepared. There sure as hell is no such thing as some stupid rapture where you just... They are trying to develop technology that just instantly evaporates someone, but it's by heat. It's a laser, and it can be done by space. What do you think they're doing at the space station? Staring at stars? No. It's weaponry. The fuck else will we be in space for, other than weaponry? The only thing we can't or control is things above us. We've got airplanes, but you can't have a stationary airplane, so you have to be in space. And incidentally, just to crack that egg, and I think it's hilarious if people get angry at it. The truth is, the farthest we've ever been in space is the atmosphere. And those fucking people were scared to death. That's why there's never been any interviews, there's never been any pictures, never been any of that stuff. All the rest of that crap is Area 51 bullshit. So, which is the truth. Nobody cares if you believe it or not. It was 1969. It wasn't Spam the number one food then or something. You know, we found out we could put a bunch of preservatives that cause cancer, even though we're not going to tell anybody that, and make food last a whole lot longer, even though it's pure shit. But we can feed it to soldiers, though. They're probably going to die anyway. This is what your government was thinking. Moving on. As far as he would be anyone and everyone. He would have control over all nature. Nature would listen to him and acknowledge him. When he walks down the street, the trees would blow. The bushes would blow. The leaves, you know, everything. He would be acknowledged. There is an authority there. This being his eternal home. Underground, like in caves and shit, a man always feared going in there because of wild animals. Well, they ain't going to do shit to him, so yeah, I would imagine that Satan spent quite a bit of time in some very beautiful, wonderful caves and created a bunch of excellent, wonderful stuff. However, since it's all mythology, then even if he was real, even if he was a real man, even if he did whatever the hell he wanted, whenever the hell he wanted, there's nothing anybody can do about it. You're never going to know who he is. He would have the smarts. He would have the know-how to move every single thing in nature, including humans, any way he wanted if he wanted to create a new world order or a new way or a punishment or anything else that he wanted to do. And he wouldn't need any coordination. He wouldn't need to deal with anybody. He would have all of that down just by sitting and making it happen. And that's it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing anybody can do. He's not going to be murdered again like he was the first time. That's just the way that is. That is the, I guess what do they call that? What is it called? A lot of pre-programmed bullshit in my head by churches. Where things happen whether you want them to or not. Anyway, that's what would happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can wish all you want. You can pray all you want. Because everything that Satan does would already have God's permission. You see what I mean? If you want to elevate away from this, you go in prison too. Every single one of us is born between piss and shit. Except the ones that are cloned by the Jews. Then, and that's the truth, 100%. Satan already told you how to, as a soul. Of course, he probably lied with that. I have no idea, because I don't believe in the only soul would be his, and you wouldn't call it a soul. That's self-importance. That's just puffed up ego of a human to say that about themselves. As our soul will live forever, according to this. Well, you really want to live? You believe that all of eternity, after you die, is to be subservient on your knees to a God that you've never seen and never met? No. Who the fuck wants that? Seriously. that never-ending sunlight, and everyone is friendly, and everything is great, and you float around and play harps on clouds, and it's just beautiful, and everything is great, and well, human beings don't know anything about that. You know nothing of it. Your idea of paradise is Hollywood. And that's where the devil would probably do his best work. So, if you can explain the difference, you see what I mean? Just saying. Only truth. That's all I can do. I'm going to finish this and end it for 50 minutes. I could talk a lot more. And to give you just a little hint, little jab, in the Louvre in Paris, there is a tapestry. I think it's a tapestry. There's 2 or 3 of them, actually. But I'm going to tell you about one. Well, there's a painting of Napoleon Bonaparte's wedding. And apparently there is, in the lower right-hand corner, that's the devil. There's a picture of him. Someone painted him, and he allowed it. He didn't care. So, anyway, just saying. Other than that, check out the, next time you're in Washington, D.C., the biggest Catholic church downtown. Go downstairs when they give tours, and all of the symbology you see on the walls is all about the whore giving birth to the Antichrist. And there's even an altar down there for them to do it. Just saying. You can see it with your own eyes, and it's 100% the truth, and it's there. Look at it. Look at it. You can probably even find it online. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about this. You will never know any of it. He'll always do what he wants. It's his house. This is his planet. Anyone that thinks differently, well, technically it's God's planet, but it's Satan's prison. So until God changes things, which he won't, then this is where you are. It's man governing man. Satan will have nothing to do with any of you. Just saying. Can anyone say that they met the devil? If you have, those are the people that need to be committed. Because no, they haven't. And they wouldn't be able to offer any proof if they did. Just saying. So, if you're waiting and looking for him, I would probably change your point of view, because he ain't going to want to see you. I mean, he's not interested in meeting you. So, just saying. Why would he be? For what? Are you going to enhance his life? I don't think so. Anyway, it is what it is. Of course, if he decides one day, you know what, I've had it with all this, I'm getting rid of humanity, it'll probably be by a natural cord, so they don't have to go through any bullshit with anybody, because you can't do anything about it. A 10-foot wall of water can murder 100,000 people, and that is as easy to do as a ground shake. Which I'll add a little prediction, another little jab, a little poke. For the 0 people that watch this. It's still fun for me. I'd keep an eye on the middle of the country of the U.S. if I were you. It's almost like something's trying to get out, isn't it? Just saying. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the lockdown. And don't forget that the number of people that are being abused we're at 10 times the normal amount now, and nobody's doing anything about it because they're behind locked doors and locked windows. Just saying. And thanks for watching, and I guess until the next video. So this is my view on the devil and who he is, was, and fantasy always shall be. So that's it. Until the next one.